And welcome back. Well, as in all of her books, author Kimberla Lawson Roby explores real-life issues. In this book, Best Friends Forever, she writes about the power of friendship, a deteriorating marriage, and breast cancer.
Kimberla is an award-winning and New York Times best-selling author of the acclaimed Reverend Curtis Black series, and we are super excited to have her join us in our panel.
Yeah.
And she's back again now to talk about this
Thanks
book,
for being here.
which is actually going to be released next week.
Yes,
Okay.
on the 5th of January.
So I bet you have readers, because this is number what in this series?
23. Yeah, 23 books.
So our writers like, come on,
Eagerly
Kimberla.
awaiting.
Yeah, you do. You get that all the time. It's like, when is the next book coming out? Or, you know, I think sometimes the joy and the hardest part of that first day of release is getting up the next morning and the person saying, I've already finished the book. When is the next one coming out?
No way.
And so, yeah, so it is. It's, you know, it's encouraging to have readers looking for your next work, but then that pressure is on.
Yeah. So what's new happening in this book?
Wow, in this book, it's a little bit different than what I've done before because, you know, with each of my books, I write about the real life social issues. Both of you know that. This time I thought, okay, I haven't done anything with breast cancer, and unfortunately, my family has experienced that with a couple of folks, a couple of women over the last few years. And so I thought I'd tackle that. But then I thought, what if? What if a woman were to discover that she has breast cancer and just days later learns that her husband is leaving her for another woman? And so that's really how this story begins. And even after the diagnosis, he doesn't change his mind about that, and that's where her best friend Lauren steps in. And what you find is that even when Celine is dealing with her darkest moments, wow, we all need to have a friend like Lauren. We all wish that we had a friend like Lauren.
You write about the struggle in relationships often, and I wonder, you know, I'm sure people always wonder how much you're drawing from your own life.
Yeah.
People probably ask you that all the time, but where is the kind of balance there?
You know, a lot of times it is real life issues. I think the reason I write so much about marriages that have lots of issues and problems, because I've been blessed to be married and happily married for 25 years, but I also know what it was like when I was married the first time, and it wasn't so great. And so I think I draw from that, and then family members and friends who have unfortunately gone through bad situations, and what it's been like for them to not only go through the struggle, but how they figured out to overcome it.
How does the power of oneself play out in this book?
You know, I think it's really her doing a lot of soul searching and even thinking back to, okay, yes, my husband is having an affair, and yes, he's out there and he's leaving me, but what part did I play in it? You know, there's always two sides to every single story, and so she kind of takes a look back at what could I have done differently, so to speak, and so she has to deal with that as well.
Is that a popular theme, to think that you have a role in something like that? Because I think very often people see that as the victim.
Yeah, and they do. Most people aren't. You know, most people can say, you know, this is what my husband did, this is why the marriage broke down, and if you were to talk to the husband, he's going to have that same story. Very, very few people see that they are at fault when it comes to the breakdown of a relationship.
How do you believe that one should count their blessings in the new year? Does it come out in one of your themes? Is this something you just live by?
You know, I think it is looking at, even with Celine, you know, here she is struggling with breast cancer and having to deal with that, losing her husband, and of course now having to explain this and try to be there for her daughter at the same time. I think for all of us as we go into the new year, and in every new year, realizing that no matter how hard times things get and how they become, somebody is always a little bit worse off than you are. You're still blessed no matter what it is you're going through.
And it seems so depressing to have this difficult diagnosis, and then also to be having your partner in life leaving.
Yes.
But I bet just knowing you and being around you, there's got to be some strength that she either develops or calls on to get through this, that sort of lifts you up as well.
And she does. There's certainly that, you know, idea of a woman being empowered in the end and saying, God, let me step back, let me take a look, you know, and finding that, wow, this one thing that devastated me the most has given me the most strength that I've ever had.
I love that.
Yeah, finding that gratitude in those moments.
Yes.
For the things you do have.
Always great to see you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Great to have you as part of the panel, too.
It was wonderful.
fun.
I liked it. You look good in red. She said she puts on her color
That's
when
right,
she
when
comes
it
to
comes
see us.
That's right.
She doesn't wear red when she's around the house writing.
No, absolutely not.
Make it a little spicier. You got this book signer coming up on Thursday. The 7th is at 7 p.m. at Barnes & Noble in Madison. You can stop by and see her there, get a copy of the book. Again, it's kimroby.com is the website, so you can get your hands on it as well. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, ladies, and Happy
Happy New Year.
You too.
Yes.
Thank you.